argue with you about Chavez.
Okay, I would like to say, Mr. Stone, thank you very much for all those great movies that you've been giving us through the years. I'm a #1 fan of your work. And I have a couple of questions. I mean, first of all, Fidel Castro Ruz. I saw your documentary with Fidel Castro recently, and it was awesome. So,
Surprised.
yeah, I know
Appreciate
it was very well done and very well edited. What was your biggest impression from Castro? I mean, he's a character that have been in Latin America, you know, for more than 40 years.
You're talking about a man who's been reviled in the Western media to death. I mean, from the beginning. But we always forget that it was U.S. aggression against Cuba that prompted this reaction in the first place. We tried to overthrow him, we tried to kill him, we tried to change their system. On top of that, once we took Cuba over in 1898, we put the platinum and went through, we basically controlled all the wealth in Cuba. All the corporations, the big shots, owned 85% of the land. All of Cuba was owned under these dictators that we control. So Castro was fighting over a major issue, which is we're not your slaves. And he was right. And unfortunately, we pushed him, and he had to crack down, because how else can you live 90 miles, and it's harder than Canada, how else can you live 90 miles close to the United States when there's CIA agents in your soup? Changing the people, spending money, and they're still doing it. Nothing has changed. We still have the dumbest Cuban policy, because essentially America's hostage to these Florida Republican politicians who make their living, and Florida is a very important state in our system to get the electoral votes. Obama wants to get those votes. So the Democrats, I don't know that anything is going to change until Cuba changes. And unfortunately, if that changes and they put McDonald's and all that in Cuba, it's not going to work. It's going to be ugly, as much of Central America has become, like Honduras or Salvador, gangs and drugs. We bring drugs wherever we go. Cuba. So you have to be careful. I think Cuba should be kept as a theme park. In other words, maybe own the place, but leave it as it is, pristine, with no advertising and beautiful cars.
Yeah.
People will go and, wow, there's a world that existed pre-corporations.
Thank you very much.
There's not one corporate logo in Cuba. They put a shot there. You won't see a McDonald's sign, Colonel Sanders, and it's beautiful. We do need to move very quickly.